Hello, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. My name is Alan and his name is Lewis. Well, he will introduce himself. So today we have something interesting. We have a new topic that we want to share with you guys. As you know, we've been talking about internship. We've been talking about studying in Europe. We've been talking about very many topics which are related to studying, to getting jobs. So today we are going to talk about something which is related to what we have been covering. So we are going to talk about what advantage does a foreigner, an international student, has after completing his or her studies. So we are going to kind of trying to relate, to balance, to see if someone has studied abroad, what advantage does that person have in general. So from this side is a guest who has just completed his master's, right?
Yes.
Yeah, his master's, and of course he's going to share with us as we go ahead and share with you what advantage does that person has over any other student, or maybe what can he achieve after completing his studies from abroad. So let me give him a chance to introduce himself first, and then we will go ahead.
Yeah, so hello guys, my name is Numules Mjomba. Actually, I'm from Kenya originally, so I'm studying here. I have completed my studies here in Hungary, and I was studying MSc Masters in Cartography, and it has been a good journey so far, and I'm glad that I'm finally done with it. I was done with it in July, so I'm still around in Hungary right now. So yeah, so that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Lewis, for sharing with us and for having this time to share with us your experience here in Hungary. So I guess how long has your course been?
My course has been for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So since 2019 September up to 2021 July. So it's 2 years exactly.
Okay, and what course and which university?
The course I was studying is Masters in Cartography, and the university is ELTE.
So what do you what's that course about?
Yeah.
Could you share?
Yeah, so I can share a bit about the course. It's an interesting course because we have a combination of preparing the digital maps, for example Google Maps. That's a very good example of a digital map, and then also we have printed maps, like maybe maps that you get for when you are sightseeing, so such like things. But apart from that, also there's a combination of what you're referring to as remote sensing. So remote sensing basically is just viewing an object from a distance, and a very good example is the way you use your eyes to observe. So that's a very good example of remote sensing. You collect image or data using your eyes, so from a distance, from anything. So basically in my course, how remote sensing is applied is where we have satellite images. So we have satellites in space that collect data actually here on Earth. So we have satellites that collect data on various things here on Earth. So we can have that also. We have that also in my course, so where we have analysis of the satellite images.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So much. And so at your university, I believe you're also on scholarship, right?
Yes.
And how many international students does your university bring, in one academic year, roughly?
Yeah, so the lot that I was in, that I came in with, we were only 5 of us.
From Kenya or?
No, from different countries.
Just 5?
Yes, just 5. Yeah, so it's interesting. But I talked to our coordinator, and she was informing me that the lot that came after us, there were 10 of them, so the number increased, but we were a few. We were only 5 of us, so they were from different nationalities.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, so he has just completed his masters, and of course, I'm not sure if he wants to stay here or if he wants to go back to Kenya, but I think he's going to weigh the options which he has, and this is why we are here to talk about what advantage does that person who has studied abroad, not just in Hungary, okay, you can study in England, you can study in Amsterdam or wherever you want. So what opportunities, or why would someone want to go and study abroad rather than studying in their own country? So what advantages do you think you have as someone who has studied in Hungary, not in Kenya?
I think one of the best advantages is the international exposure. So you get to be exposed to a different education system.
Yeah.
Though that comes with its own fair share of challenges, but I believe that if you are resilient enough, you can be able to overcome or circumnavigate around those challenges. So I think that international exposure is a very good thing, so that you have that international mindset and get to know how things are on the other side. So that's one of the advantages. Then beside that, also there is good friendship. There is that international pool of friendship that you have, and you get to interact from people with different cultures, different backgrounds, and you kind of find the differences where they lie, and you find where the similarities lie as you interact and you talk and as you share. So that's a very good thing for you as an individual when you're studying abroad. So you have international exposure and you get to know how things are done differently. So you can be able to pick which are able to be applied in your home country. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, I studied from Uganda, where I come from, where I was born and raised. But I think me having traveled and maybe done some internships abroad, I think I can relate to what he's saying, because when I finished my bachelor's degree in economics, I managed to go to other countries like Rwanda, India, Russia, and now I'm here. And I got so many friends, I got so many new ideas, and I can relate to what he's talking about, because it opens your eyes and you feel like, okay, this is what is happening outside my country. And even you can use the same knowledge, to when you go back home. And also what I wanted to ask, how about when you finish studying from abroad and you go back to Kenya, don't you think there is a higher chances of you getting a good job compared to if you had studied in Kenya?
I think that's a question that is so wide. Yeah. Because it can be yes and it can be no, so it depends.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes you can have people maybe in the job sector, they are employed because of merit, maybe they know someone, but if you have a higher qualification, it depends with the job and also what they are looking for. So if one of the criteria is that you have to be internationally exposed, then of course you have the upper hand. But if that is not a criteria, then maybe other factors come into play in terms of how was your score, maybe what are your experience, do you have any background experience in the job that you're applying to. But generally I can say that if you have studied abroad, then you have maybe an upper hand to say in the case that maybe there might be things that you're exposed to that maybe others in the local maybe universities are not being exposed to. So you might have an upper hand. Yeah. So there is that possibility.
Okay. And also what I can add on what he has said, I think when you study abroad, so because you've been talking to so many people from different countries, different nationalities, and the culture, I think also this gives you this courage, and also you can present yourself well, since you have been able to present yourself with people from different backgrounds. I think when you go back home, it can be a very good thing for you I mean, like you have these new ideas and you can talk to people because you have been doing the same. And of course, like it also helps you because when you study abroad, I think there are high chances that you're going to learn some other languages.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point actually. Languages can give you an upper hand if the job that you are applying to specifically says that you have to be maybe multilingual. So it depends with the languages that are actually listed on the job that you are actually invited to or you are applying for. So that also depends on that. But I think that if you are in a multicultural setting in terms of learning, I think that gives you, good exposure to be able to know how maybe to interact with different people from different, background and cultural experiences, and you can even relate with them better, because you have interacted with them maybe in the school setting or university setting. So it can be even easier for you if you interact with them in the workplace setting. So that is also a good thing. Yeah. Cheers.
Well, besides that, I think also when you study abroad, I mean, when you live abroad, I think also, you also get to have like, this international mindset, like you think widely, because you're not just thinking about your own country. Like, for example, if I'm from Uganda, when you're talking about things, when you're comparing about things, you don't just compare just what is happening in Uganda. So, for example, when they're talking about politics, when they're talking about development, when they're talking about economics, like for you are always relating, in a wider or in a bigger, mindset, which is something that I think is helpful for you, because I think you would, because there are scholarships in your own country, but I think when you take an extra step to go and study abroad, I think that there's something that you're going to benefit out of that. Not just like you're going to travel and be on a plane and stuff like that. I think there is something that you gain. That's why like most of the countries, they always bring that connection, that connection between countries to make sure that they give scholarships. They hope other developing countries to come and study abroad, to come and have that exposure. And besides that, you can even get like, when it comes to marriage, I think you can get. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, like for me, I think it also helps you. I mean, like if I was in Uganda, there are less chances that I'm going to date someone from Hungary or someone from, from Europe. But okay, that's not part of something that we want to talk about right now. But have that in mind. So, and what else can you advise? Like, for example, if someone is trying to wants to study or wants to get a scholarship, okay, what's the best thing that you can advise him to? Or maybe like someone wants to go and study, but they're like, oh, I'm going to leave my country for like 3 years or for like 2 years. I'm going to miss my family. So, like someone who has been here or someone who has friends who have studied abroad and they have spent 3 years minus going home and they are still okay. So what advice can you give to such a person who would want to travel, but they're kind of mommy's boys and
one of the things I want to say is that fear of the unknown is usually present for everyone. Like everyone has that fear of the unknown. Like, what if I do this and what is the outcome? So fear of the unknown is a constant challenge that you have to find ways to overcome. And also comfortability. If you are comfortable in a given place, you may not be able to take a risk of doing something else. So fear of the unknown and comfortability, those are the things that may hold someone from looking or accepting such opportunities. Some people might get the scholarship, but because of the fear of the unknown, and also maybe they are comfortable where they reject the scholarship. So beside that, also there is that those who don't actually apply because of the same reasons that they fear, or maybe they are comfortable where they are, you know. And also the fear can also be from people, like people tell you, okay, you cannot go here because there is this or there is that, you know. So such things also may hold people from actually venturing into such opportunities like studying abroad, you know. But I want to advise like those who are listening right now that without like change also comes with its own fair share of challenges, and you cannot avoid it. And it's actually part of life, you know. And the same way that someone when they're born, they change from crawling to actually walking to running, you know, it's the same thing that you have to change. There's that shift from nursery to primary to high school to university. So change is usually there, you know, it's part of life. So don't fear. And also, if you fear taking risks, it means that there is no milestone you're going to make in your life. So you have to take risks while there is still chance. If you have an opportunity, take the risk. And for sure you might never know what lies on the other side. It may be good things that you'll be like, oh wow, I was fearing for nothing, you know. And this was actually a good opportunity for me. So yeah, that's it. So don't fear, just take the risk. And if it's to study abroad, that's a good thing. And if you get a scholarship on the way, I mean, even better, because it eases your life.
Yeah, I mean, what Lewis is saying is true, because after all, when you finish your studies, or when you finish your 3 years, you can still decide whether to go back home and find a job or do something else, or you can still stay here. It's not like when you come to do internship, okay, the government or the school is going to restrain you from going back home, or they're going to be like, okay, since you have studied from here, you can't go back. So it's just studies, and everything is in the agreement, like you're just coming here to study, and then when you finish, then you can go back. So basically, the reason for this discussion is that we just wanted to, you know, to make sure that you guys know that, okay, these scholarships, they, like, you are the very person who's going to benefit from them. So when you come and study abroad or any other country, I mean, it's good for you and also for your future, for your family, because you kind of sharpen your mind. And of course, I'm not saying that when you study from your country, then you are dumb or something, but when there is an opportunity, then you should grab it.
Yeah.
So today we don't have much to talk about. We just wanted to make sure that you guys know that scholarships are good, and they are taken by everyone who wants to go and study. Those who want to have that international exposure, those who want to, you know, to get international friends, and maybe, you know, because someone, I mean, like, traveling is not just studying. You know, you have a lot of things that you achieve upon your completion of your studies. You can do internships. You know, you can do internships, because most of the students who are here, they have higher chances of doing internships from very many you know, big companies. And of course, when you finish those internships, if there are high chances that they are going to retain you if you still want to work on a full-time job. So it's also an advantage, because imagine if you are in Kenya and you want to do an internship in Europe, imagine how much you would spend, and also the competition, you know. But when you're here, then you are like, it's very easy for you to get that internship. It's very easy for you to get that job that you want to work. Do you have any final words?
So final words, interesting. So I want to say that you have to be, I think, for the choice of scholarship or studies, you have to be focused. You have to go with your passion, what you like. Don't substitute it, because you may end up choosing a scholarship or choosing studies that you're not passionate about, and then you come and regret that, why did I choose this? So that's why we find some people change courses in between the course, because they later realize that this is not what they wanted. So you have to do your background research very well. So find out everything about the scholarship, find out everything about which country you're going to. So you have to be intentional about what you're doing. So you have to have good information for you to make better judgment. So don't avoid that. It's a very important point to look at. So have good information, do your research, find out about what you want. Does it lie with your passion? What are you aspiring to be in the long term, in the short term? Does it match with that? So that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's all we have today. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. And I mean, you can ask which country you would want to go to, and I can find for you information about scholarships, about internships. So thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your time that you spend watching my videos. And of course, we are going to be uploading more videos which are related to something that you are interested in. You never know. I can just read your mind and know that you're interested in something, and then I can post it. So just keep on my YouTube channel, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.